this week's edition of Bengals Nation at Kroger OTR Eatery, sponsored by Rally House. Gary Miller and Chris Rankel with you. And the Bengals are now sharing first place again, as we knew they would. Vonn Bell, Mike Hilton are on a roll. They got a special guest tonight. Now, last week we had a lot of fun with Dax Hill. This week we got a veteran instead of a first-round pick, but another Hill, BJ Hill, coming along. So, to get us rolling, is he back there? He's not back there this week. There he is, okay. David Fulcher will be along too, but let's get it over to Chris and the guys.
Thanks, Gary. Mike and Vonn joining me up here on the stage now, guys. I was watching the game at the station, and I think my ears were ringing. Have you guys gotten all your hearing back from the Superdome on Sunday?
For sure, it was an electric environment. We did say that I was going to be loud, but I think I got my hearing back.
When you're in a game like that, communication, especially on your end of the defense, is so critical. When you can't hear yourself think, does it make it a lot more difficult for you guys to make sure everyone's on the same page when, you know?
You just got to do a good job signaling, like on the sideline with the coaches getting the calls in. If they go no huddle, just reiterating the calls so the far side corner can get the calls. So make sure everybody on the same page.
Yeah, and it's communicating pre-snap before it gets loud, alerting what possibly could happen, so you're a step ahead of the offense. So we did that well on Sunday and was able to make a lot of stops.
Gotta give you guys credit. First half, New Orleans is having a little success. Second half, you completely shut them down. Keep them out of the end zone. You guys end up winning the game. What was the difference? Was it the Michael's secret juice or something in the locker room? What was the change at halftime?
Really just playing our brand of football and just really just honing in on our details and our assignments and really just trusting one another and just going out there just doing your job.
Yeah, what he said, man, is trusting each other. We felt like we missed a lot of tackles in the first half that led to those explosive plays, and we didn't do that in the second half, and we limited them and, played well.
All right, the offense goes out. I think one of you said a couple weeks ago, if it's ever a shootout, you like your guys having the ball last.
I said that.
You said that. I'll give you credit.
I agree.
Jamar breaks one. What goes through your mind on the sideline? You guys have battled through this, and finally he gets a 60-yard touchdown and get in the end zone.
I said you give them another opportunity. They just kept on cracking at it, and you just see them like making shoestring tackles on them. I said, man, they give him the ball one more time. He go break one, so that's what he did.
Yeah, man, it was the right moment, right time. You couldn't build a better story for him personally, to have the game-winning touchdown in his hometown. So it's funny how it worked out like that, but, I'm happy it did.
All right, looking ahead to Atlanta, you guys are back at home. Atlanta, I think a lot of people thought they'd be going for the number one pick, but here they are, 3-3 at 500. They don't throw the ball a ton, but they do it effectively. What do you see that makes their offense so successful?
Just ball control, and they're a run-first offense, and they really just try to blow your nose and really just have ball control, like I said, and literally limit the possessions of offenses to get on the field. So they just try to tire out defenses, make you tackle, and really just playing tough physical football.
When they do throw the football, they got some big bodies over there. I mean, Pitts, London, all that. What's it like going up against those big physical receivers? And do you have to play them a little differently?
Just got to be violent through the reception point and really just playing through the hands and playing through the body because they'll create separation with that big body. They'll try to throw them open. Just really just playing violent through the reception point and just really attacking the ball.
Yeah, what he said, just being violent. Obviously, their catch radius will be a lot bigger than ours, so it's just being able to grip a hand away or just somehow get the ball out from him.
All right, let's send it over to Gary Miller, who has the head coach, Zac Taylor.
How much more are you worn out of a game in the Superdome than maybe a normal Sunday?
You don't realize it in the moment, but it is, since it's so loud, you got to stress the communication. And so then by the time you walk off the field, you're pretty mentally exhausted. And then you get a chance to get a good night's rest on the plane and get home and get charged up for the next day.
Very tight locker room, as opposed to some of them that are very spacious. Do you have a preference in when you're giving away game balls and telling the team what a great job they did?
Yeah, the tighter the better. When you win, you want everybody in that tight-knit locker room. Those are some of my best memories is some of the smaller locker rooms where everybody's on top of each other. And so, again, it's you just want to take a win any way you can get it. Big locker room, small locker room, but some of my best memories are in some of the smaller locker rooms.
Not often that the pregame captains you choose end up with game balls. That tells about kind of the storybook of that game.
Pretty cool. I was glad that those guys got to experience that. We had a lot of LSU connections, a lot of Saints connections. So glad those guys got a chance to be a part of that moment, and then for a couple of them to step up and have some enormous games for us was good to see.
We talked going into that game about all the different things that Taysom Hill can do, and he did a few of them in that first half. But in the second half, he was not much of a weapon for them. What changed?
I think our defense did a good job settling down. They had some explosive plays into some tough looks, and so again, credit to them for having a great plan together, and they executed it well. But our defense settled down on what it needed them to. At the end of the game, they got some stops, and so it was really good that they came up big in those moments. The offense was able to finish off with some touchdowns.
You finished this game. How important was that, especially you not giving up a second-half touchdown all season?
Our guys believe that we can overcome any deficit that we face. We've proven that time and time again, but we needed to stop tying games and find a way to get over the hump there and win it. And so yesterday, not that we needed that for our confidence because we believed in it, but it is good to be able to store that one away and draw on it later in the season if you get back in that situation again.
More from Zac, including a first look at the Falcons, and he takes us inside the Saturday quarterbacks room for the weekly game of Jeopardy!
Faux Rocks Locks, sponsored by Hawksworth.
Niners to beat the Falcons. I mean, does anything get easier than that? This is why you should
Apparently
never
not.
enter a suicide pool. Never bet.
Don't
at
do
least
it.
with anything I say. But hopefully the Falcons don't play that way this week.
No, they cannot. They cannot play like they did last week. They can't do it.
David's the only one that won last week.
Yeah,
You got happy last week because you were undefeated or
Oh, hey,
two
I
game
was
streak,
trying to feel myself.
swelling up, getting all big like you're gonna whoop somebody.
All right. Well,
and
you
it
were
didn't
the
work.
man of wisdom picking against a third-string quarterback, and it worked out all right for
And
you.
it worked out pretty good for me. So this time, I'm going to pick the Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins to beat them Squealers. They've got to beat Pittsburgh. Anybody play against Pittsburgh, I'm picking against them. I'll take Miami over the Steelers.
Steelers are getting ideas. I'm going to take the Cowboys. They beat the Bengals, unfortunately, but we know now how nasty Micah Parsons and that whole defense is.
but you know what? When Gary picks, anything can happen. It's
That's it.
usually not what he
Except
thinks. So put all your money against Gary's picks. No,
Take the Lions.
I'm going to take, this is a really interesting one, Jets in Denver. That Monday night game was awful. Russ Wilson, I don't know what it is. The coffee's different in Seattle. He's not playing well in Denver. Now he's hurt. They're banged up. Plus 1 point to beat the Broncos.
That's a good bet.
Getting Defensive, sponsored by Blake Maislin.
Today we got a special guest, man. Y'all give a warm who they welcome to BJ Hill.
There we go. BJ.
BJ.
Got his son with
Got
him.
his son with him.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, BJ?
Let's go.
What's up? What's up?
Man, going chilling, man, chilling. Let's get straight to business, man. A lot of people forgot that you got traded here last year, man. Just tell me how that whole experience was.
Man, it was a blessing, man. Everything just lined up perfect. Feels good to be wanted from a team, and just feel good to be here. I love being here. My family loves being here. Kingston loves being here. And they're right. We just love Cincinnati so much, and we just thank y'all for embracing us and loving us.
All right, man. All right.
So let me know where the Rock the Baby celebration came from, man. 'Cause every time you make a big play, it's 9-2 coming through.
Like last week, you know how to bring it out.
Yes,
finally.
sir.
It was half, though. You did. I see you stop.
I had to get back on the ball real quick. You know, it was a little quick on the ball, but I picked it up from somebody who plays basketball, Russell Westbrook. I seen him do it, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, man, it's smooth too.
It's smooth. I love it.
Once you hit it, we all behind it.
If I'm rocking the baby, we doing some good
doing
stuff
something
on
good.
the field.
For sure, for sure. All right, I got a question for you. How was it playing with Jermaine Pratt in college and in the NFL? That's your best friend, right?
That's one of my best friends. He's the same guy. Nothing has changed.
It's about the ball.
Yeah, it's all about the ball. The way he watched film, like everything he's doing now, it was the same in college. I mean, he's a great dude, great player.
Yeah.
And we love having him.
Oh, he want to talk. He a special guest too.
Big special guest. All right, last question from me, man. You know how serious the ping pong competition is. Where do you rank yourself in the locker room? Honestly.
Honestly, I'm ranked number one. Of course, nobody's beating me. Like nobody can stop me. I can do it all. Ain't it right?
He trying to speak too. He think he number one.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
Say who they?
Who that?
Who they?
Tell him who they.
Ew.
Hey, with your interception to get Patrick Mahomes, where did that rank in your top plays in the NFL?
It's one of my. It's up there for sure. Probably I'll say number one.
You got tackled by him too.
You did get tackled by the quarterback.
You know, my running back skills, you know, are out the window. You know, I'm a D tackle for a reason now. But it's definitely one of the biggest plays I made in the NFL, especially right in that moment. We needed a turnover right there. And I got my hands up, knocked it up, and picked it off.
That's a big play for sure, man. Well, BJ, we appreciate you coming on and getting defensive, man. You know, you and your son, man, the special guest.
Say who they.
Appreciate it.
Say who they. Say who they. Say who they.
Daddy.
Earning Your Stripes, sponsored by Rally House.
Saturday before the game is the strategy session. You guys have a pretty unique way of preparing a Jeopardy game. Can you take us into that room with as much as you can reveal to our Bengals Nation audience of what goes on?
Sure, it's all the quarterbacks and all the people who are sitting in the quarterback room. So myself, Dan Pitcher, Brian Callahan, Brad Craig Thorpe, Freddie Knighton's in there as well. So, and then the three quarterbacks. And so it's a typical Jeopardy board. There's 5 categories: 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So Burrow may say, I want protections for 500, you know, and you got to answer a Falcons-related question for 500 points, and we keep running total through the game. And then there's a final Jeopardy that pops up, and then there's a winner and a bunch of losers.
I hear Burrow is like the man to beat, or is it Zac Taylor?
He's on top of it. You know, I take a lot of pride in being on top of it as well, but Burrow's pretty sharp. He goes after the tougher categories to challenge himself. He usually is the best riddle solver, you know, as we get hit with some sort of complex question for the final Jeopardy that has nothing to do with football. He's usually the one that problem solves that one the best and puts himself in a position to win it.
But I heard a couple of years ago you had the final Jeopardy, which, as you mentioned, is off topic, you know, off game, was the 5 Great Lakes. How much pride do you take in the fact that you nailed that one?
Homes, Homes, it's easy. You know, I just paid attention in elementary school in Norman, Oklahoma, and learned a lot about the Great Lakes up there, you know, in whatever, the Midwest. So I take a lot of pride in knowing that one.
Let's talk a little bit about the Falcons going into this game. You know, their season is so similar to yours. They've lost by just a handful of points, very close games. They come in 3-3. They're coming off a very impressive win against what was statistically the best defense in the league. They do just enough to win in that game. Do you see some similarities to where their outcomes have been?
Sure. The flow of their season has been very similar. They had a big win against Seattle where they held them to a goal line stand. They picked the ball off. You know, they're in the final plays to win that game. And then they got the big win against San Francisco yesterday. And they turned turnovers into points. They recovered a fumble on 3rd and 1 for a touchdown. Gave themselves an early 14-0 lead. And then they just never gave it up the rest of the game. And that's how we want to go into games and play as well. They did a great job of that yesterday. And so we've got a work cut out for us when we play Atlanta on Sunday.
Next stop, Zac Taylor's Telestrator. And you know he's going to diagram just how they pulled off that game winner from Burrow to Chase.
Coach Taylor's Breakdown, sponsored by EverDry.
The first one here on offense is a Tampa 2 beater. We're trying to wrap Jamar tight in front of the safety. The safety plays pretty low and inside, and the backer carries. So Jamar's out of the picture, but Mixon does a great job running a 5-yard under route and doing a great job making sure we get into the goal line there on a key 3rd down play. So really good execution, good patience by Burrow, taking his number 2 in the progression once Jamar was taken away, and good job by Mixon there. Anyway, the next one is a 3rd and 3. This one is just great players making great plays here. So we motion across. We're going to run a corner route and a flat return here with TB. They do a good job dropping the defensive end underneath, so they're taking our number 1 in the progression away. And we have a protection issue here, as you can see. We call this a middle dog cross. They're trying to pick the center. So the back's got to fit up tight in the A-gap and try to wall that off so that he and 64, Ted Karras, can swap this off. But they do a good job picking the center. Samaje's trying to be physical. And ultimately, we just end up losing to 20, and Joe does a great job extending the play and finding a way to get Tyler Boyd. This is exactly how we drew it up. TB, run into the defender, fall down, make sure he loses you, and then you pop back up and convert a key 3rd down there in the 4th quarter. So really well done. I tried to get some extra coaching in here on the sidelines up here when I saw Jamar and I saw the play continue to go, trying to get him back in the picture there to go score a touchdown. But really good execution by those guys, making something out of nothing. This is the game winner. Again, same play TB caught earlier. We're just in a stack. So again, it's a choice route with a bench route. And then he's going to run a 6-step speed out that converts to a go route versus bump coverage. Right here, he's getting bump coverage. And so it turns into a go. Joe back shoulders him. They're on the same page. He makes the first guy miss, breaks the leverage on the second guy, which is really impressive, and is able to finish it. And what I like seeing about these guys, first of all, is a terrible punt right here. He saved himself $15,000 by not punting that thing in the stands. But you just look at the protection's really good, and you just look at the energy of these guys sprinting down the field to cover. They don't know if he's going to score or not, but they're going to be in a position to try to catch some blocks down the field. You see some great excitement there on the last play of the game by those guys who played a really good game for us up front. This is a low red zone, so this is a key moment in the game where it's 2nd and 10 with 12 minutes left in the game, and we're down by 2 points. And so if they score a touchdown here, we're down 9, which is a 2-possession game. And the guy that really steps up and makes the play is number 97, Jay Tufeli. Jay's been inactive last week, and he's active this week. Josh Tupou had an injury, so he had to come in and play over 20 snaps, which he certainly didn't expect over the course of the week. And you see him step up with that swim and make a big play for TFL, put them in a 3rd and 12, held them to a field goal. And then you look at the final drive of the game here. This was a big sack here by these guys in the interior. So you can see here, B.J. Hill, he's played 67 of the 75 snaps, or 77 snaps yesterday. Sam Hubbard, I think, played 70 of the 77 snaps. So these guys have played almost every rep in the game, and that's still the effort that we're getting there on the last play there to create that sack. Sam almost knocks the ball free. Really good job by those two guys, putting them in an unmanageable situation there for the 4th down.
What's it going to take to get the Bengals above 500? We'll ask Zac Taylor when we return.
This is my glory.
Chris's Star Matchup, sponsored by Gold Star.
For my matchup this week, it's going to be a team effort for the Bengals defense to stop the Falcons' rushing attack. This Bengals defense has been so good all year, but suddenly they have a little issue stopping the run. The Saints were able to torch them on the ground in the first half, and with the Falcons coming into this, we expected them to be a bad team. Well, they're sitting at 3-3 largely thanks to their rushing attack. Marcus Mariota only throws the ball when he has to, and despite having those big body receivers, this Falcons team rushing attack is 3rd in the NFL. Suddenly the Bengals defense, down DJ Reader and potentially dinged up Logan Wilson, is going to have to bring their A game in order to stop the Falcons from running all over Paycor Stadium.
They're doing a great job on offense, being efficient in the passing game, pounding the run game at people. It's really a blend of multiple systems that's turned into one really finely tuned system.
Keys to the Game, sponsored by Kia.
Zach, time for our keys to the game. What is it going to take to get the winning record for the first time this year, get to 4-3 against a team that's coming off a huge win of their own?
We got to limit these guys early offensively. They've done a good job when they get off to a fast start, maintaining that lead throughout the game. So that's going to be critical for us. And then, again, as it always is, winning the turnover battle. Yesterday or last Sunday, we were able to overcome a 1-0 deficit there and still find a way to win. But that +2 is what serves us best, and we got to find a way to get back to that.
Now, everyone knows him as BJ. Do you guys know what BJ stands for?
Bobby G.
Yeah.
I actually had no idea.
How long have you been known as BJ? Were you ever known as Bobby?
No, that's my dad's name. You know, I go by BJ, you know.
Is it because of your dad to prevent the confusion?
Yeah, for sure. Well, heck yeah.
Now, how come we didn't go with a 3rd here? We got Kingston.
My wife didn't want that.
No.
She was like, nah, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I was like, all right, cool.
Can't argue with the wife. Smart man.
Hey, you sure can't. Happy home.
Now, you are so multi-talented, BJ Bobby Jean. You track and field, we were talking before the show, baseball, basketball. What would you direct Kingston into play? What did you enjoy more? Obviously, it turned out to be football, but you enjoyed the other sports too?
I love all sports. I love watching sports. I love playing sports. He loves it all too, and I can't wait to see when he gets older, when he plays. But, you know, I could have been an NBA star if I really wanted to, you know what I'm saying? But I chose football.
Cut.
No doubt?
Don't let him fool y'all.
You know, when he first got here, it was a mic'd up segment. I mean, is he the yakkiest guy at practice, just about? Who's the most talkative on the defense?
Probably me, actually. If you want, I would have to say myself.
I don't talk much on the field.
You don't actually.
We're on
You
the
don't
field.
talk too much.
I'm in the zone.
No, I'm talking about practice.
Yeah, it ain't me.
Even at practice, you don't talk too much. So I actually.
Oh, you
I
just
think-
did it because you had the mic on that day.
A little bit, you know.
What's it like day in, day out? You guys see each other on practice, and you like each other in the locker room and everything, but does it get a little heated, especially middle of the year? You're kind of sick of practicing against each other like that?
Well, in a sense, yeah, compared to, let's say, training camp where we don't have a game on Sunday. Like, during the regular season, we can go against each other all week because we know we have an opponent on Sunday, so it'll all be worth it on Sunday.
I think the animosity be pretty neutral, because we don't really go one good on good sometimes. It'll be probably towards the end of the week we'll go like one play, and we'll probably spice things up. We'll have like a bet or something, but and other than that, no, it's pretty neutral. And unless it's ping pong, those guys go at it.
But you're asking DBs though, so they don't got to take on 600 pounds, 300 pounds each and every day. So yeah, it gets heated down there for sure. Especially somebody hit you wrong. Oh yeah.
Wow.
BJ, coming from the Giants, there couldn't be much more difference between New York City, even though they play in Jersey, and Cincinnati. What are the things you liked most and are so glad to get away from playing in New York?
I love the team, man. I love the people here, the coaches. The only thing is different, you just got a big city compared to Cincinnati, but man, I really do truly love Cincinnati, man. Hopefully I'll retire here, so
Well, you got the new contract. What was that like? In the off-season, wait.
Cha-ching. Back up the Brinks truck.
What was that process like? Were you confident that, hey, this is going to happen, or do you have some anxious moments?
I definitely wanted to be back, and we definitely made it happen. A lot of other guys wanted me back, so I told my agent, hey, I'm coming back here no matter what. And we definitely made it happen.
Now, you were a criminology major at NC State. Do you watch a lot of the crime shows? You say that's going to be me someday, or what's your favorite?
I do not watch a lot of crime shows, but I do want to work in the law enforcement when I'm done playing football, though. I just like that kind of stuff. My sister's a police officer, and I just love helping people and making the world better.
BJ, we close every show with our slogan here. We've seen on a lot of T-shirts out here as well. Here, thanks to you all for coming out here. And as we leave you, we go with a.